I will say this about investing. Everything you do learn is cumulative. What I learned at 20 is useful.
Welcome to another special episode of Equity Mates, where we are searching for Australia's next top trader. We're a podcast that breaks down the world of investing from beginning to dividend so that you can hopefully make some returns. My name's Bryce, and as always, I'm joined by my equity buddy, Ren. How are you going, bro?
I'm good, Bryce. How are you?
Good. Really enjoying the series so far. We're a week in, and we have had some questions come through from competitors about using the platform. So we thought it would be a good opportunity to address two very important aspects of the platform on Stake that can really help you understand your trading and put you in a better position. And that is your holdings and also watch lists. So let's crack in, Ren.
Yeah, let's do it. So for those playing along at home, you can jump onto Stake now or the Stake app. And if you go to your dashboard, which is where it shows you what shares you hold, there's a section called Your Holdings, and that has all the details. And we've had some questions about what it all means. So we thought we'd just quickly answer it. If people are familiar with it and they don't think they need this lesson, that's fine. You can skip past this episode. But just so everyone can get the most out of the platform and really understand what they're doing and really learn as they're trying to win this trip to New York, we thought it was important to go through it.
Nice.
So should we start?
Let's do it.
You got any companies in there that you want to talk about?
I have a company that I can use in as example.
Give us a worked example.
Okay, so I've got one in here, which is a ProShares S&P 500 ETF. So it's a stock that, as we have discussed last week, it's an exchange-traded fund that is following the S&P 500, which is the 500 biggest companies on the US stock market. So that's what the product column is telling me, what shares I own. If we jump across to the next column, it actually says shares, and it's telling me how many shares I own of that company. For example, it's telling me that I've got 10.8943 shares, but that's telling me how many shares I own in that company.
So yeah, it's probably worth saying there the fact that you had 10.8 shares, did you say?
Yep.
You took advantage of the fact that you can buy partial shares on Stake. So on most brokerage platforms, you have to buy a full share. In this case, you can buy however much you can afford or however much you want to buy. So if a share costs $100 and you only want to spend $50, just buy half a share. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so you can do that by, rather than putting in how many shares you want to buy, you put in how much money you want to put into it, and it'll work out how many equivalent shares or partial shares you can get from that. So then it goes across to my Stake, and it's telling me what dollar amount I have in those stocks. That's what that column is. Then you go across to performance, and this column is telling you how that stock has performed for you from the day that you bought it. So it's not telling you the performance of the stock itself over a period of time. It's telling you the performance for your portfolio. So if your number is in red, in brackets with a negative sign in front of it, it means that you have lost money on that stock. If it is in green, it means you have made money on that stock. So that is what that performance column is telling you. Then if you jump across to the next column, it says average price. This is the average price that you bought into the stock. Because what happens is you might buy the same stock a few times at different prices. And what it's telling you is the average price across all those purchases to give you an average entry point. Not necessarily that important for a beginner, but that's exactly what that column is telling you. The next column is last price, and that is the last price that the stock traded at when the market closed. And then the figure next to it in brackets is the performance for the stock for that day. So if it was, for example, in red, it means that stock went down that day. If it's in green, it means that stock went up for the day by that percentage. And your day result is telling you in dollar figures how much you lost or how much you earned. And then there's some buy and sell, and so you can make a decision if you want to buy and sell that stock. So that's pretty much those columns. That's your holdings.
So I think the important things for people to know for the 6-week trading comp is their stake. So the second one, which says how many dollars they've invested in that company. And then the one next to it is their performance. That shows overall how much money they've made or lost. And so, you know, if you're trading in this competition and let's say you've got $50 to trade and you put all 50 into a company and your performance is minus 25, it might be time to look elsewhere because you've lost half your money. Even if you see the last price and that it's a positive percentage, but overall you're down in the performance column, what that means is that the last price, so on the last day, the share might have gone up a little bit, but overall, since you bought it, you're down. So yeah, the overall number, the performance column is the really important one. The last price is just the most recent price that that share was bought or sold for. So I know it's a bit confusing, but hopefully that clarifies it. We'll quickly explain the other maybe confusing thing, which is your watch list.
Yes.
Really simply, as you look around on Stake and you see all these companies that you're interested in, or as you do research in other places and you see companies that you're interested in, but you're not ready to buy, there is this functionality where you can add it to your watch list. And essentially that allows you to carefully watch it. You know, it's all in the name. It's your watch list. It's the stocks that you're watching. You can see how they're going day to day, and then you can make a decision into the future. But, you know, if you don't add them to your watch list, you might forget about them and you might miss an opportunity. So to do it on Stake, when you're in the buying and selling section, the shop section, you can add a company to your cart, or in the top right-hand corner, if you're on the computer, you can add it to your watch list as well. And then when you go to your watch list, you can just see a condensed list of the stocks that you're watching. So it doesn't mean you've bought or sold them. It just means you're watching them closely.
Yeah, a pretty important little feature. As you said, Ren, you know, you can easily lose track of stocks that you're researching. And I love using watch lists as a means of grouping all together all the stocks that I'm trying to keep an eye on. And then it gives you the ability to sit there and give it a bit more deeper thought before jumping in.
Honestly, it just makes me think how many stocks I want to buy that I can't afford.
I know it's a tease, hey?
Yeah.
But it's better than having no stocks that you want to buy, right?
That is true. That is true.
So that's two things, your holdings and also watch lists. If there are any other questions regarding the platform, hit us up and we will endeavor to do our best to answer them for you as quickly as possible.
Hit us up at contact@equitymates.com.
Equity Mates and the people appearing in this program may have positions in the companies mentioned. This is general advice only. Please speak to a financial professional to understand how it may pertain to your individual situation.